so many guys out there. We don't want to say love them. The drama continues. That's all. We just had a present. But you want it to be true, you make it true. So you get clicks, but when you go personal, what's really going on? Like, what's going on, y'all? This Greg. Greg said it. Back with another one. What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it live. I've been in them streets again, behind schedule. Hey, but I'm like, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes here. Got to get to my live, my one little live during the week. I know some people been waiting. And there's some other lives before, some other lives after y'all I want to touch on this week. I did a little conversation earlier in the week, some videos. It was all going to be watched on Thursday. And interesting stuff. It's weird, kind of all over the place when you think about it. Shedeur was in a situation. He kind of tweaked his oblique, throwing the ball. I don't know. It seemed like it was right up their alley. Like, you know what? This is great. Now we don't have to do this comparison thing. It seemed like that. I thought he could slide out there, but it's like, I don't know how bad it was at the end of the day. And there was no real desire for him to really be out there, to be honest with you. And it was Gabriel time. He did about a half. I just wonder why it's such a thing with all the quarterbacks hurt, except Flacco. That would be interesting to see what happens with him, because I know he's bound to hurt something. He hurts something every year, right? But at least for the past whatever years he's been playing. So now I'm curious, when does he join the party? Because at the end of the day, what's going on, R Jizzle? At the end of the day, I mean, he gonna do what he gonna do. Now, we don't have no idea when Pickett's coming back. Yeah, so-called Gabriel is not all the way, but he is, but he ain't. And you keep playing around on the hamstring, you're gonna keep tweaking it. You're gonna have to get that knot or whatever up out of there. So Shedeur is weird. He go up there to the jinxed, cursed up place, and all of a sudden he getting hurt every other week or every week. And we see him get DD. Like I said, he getting body slam, suplex off the top rope, kick poked in the eye, and he playing every week. Now, did he practice every time? No, Shedeur didn't practice, but he played. Him and Travis took probably most days off. You see Travis, he played both ways, and Shedeur, he didn't really come into practice till Wednesday. He practiced a couple days a week, and then did the walkthrough. So, yeah, he missed some practices, but he didn't miss no games. He is in pros. He already don't miss his second game. What are we doing? I can't say it's him because all the quarterbacks doing the mess. It's some kind of silly game. I don't know how he compares playing third and fourth string to Gabriel playing with starters. Now I heard somebody try to tell me that Gabriel didn't play with starters, and that's a lie because I heard the Cleveland people say that he had some of the starting receivers out there. You probably had all of them. Or somebody told me he didn't play with starters. I seen Neely posted something on Facebook, and I was like, but then how you compare? I said, didn't he play with the some starters? Surely he had some starters out there because they didn't put him out there with second and third string like he did Shedeur. But they're going to say it's a different team. I could told y'all what they was going to do from the jump. From the very beginning, I could tell you what they was going to say. Now, I was already set up. I know how silly people are. They think they're smart. And you predictable. It's all get out when you say, well, it's a different team. It's a different team every week. Every week is a different team. At the end of the day, you're going to compare it to the Bengals, to the Dolphins. That's a silly game to play. But at the end of the day, Shedeur went out there without the reps, the least reps, and he played with people. Yeah, he played with the third string, but like he really got a few reps with the second. But leading up to that game, his reps were still low. Even when they was doing the joint practices, Shedeur still was getting the minimum reps, even though he was going to be starting in the game. We know that. That's not nothing made up. The media, everybody was saying that. So at the end of the day, Shedeur was in a bad situation, and he at least Dylan got an extra week to prepare. They threw Shedeur out there week one. The one with the least reps was out there week one. Think about that. So he had the least reps, and he played the earliest while everybody else sat back and watched. Say Sanders got enough film out there now for other teams. He looks better than a lot of starters. I mean, did he not look better than them in college? I mean, how all of a sudden everybody better than you, we get the pros, but they weren't better than you in college? Even if you go back to Shedeur's junior year, you look at the people who've been in the league for a year. He was a top quarterback his junior year as well. And honestly, he would have been a top quarterback his sophomore year if he went at Jackson State. But they want to play that down. That's what they don't want to tell you. Shedeur, if he was at Colorado all 4 years, let's say Coach Prime took his Louis right out of high school somehow and took him up there. What's going on? Then what that would look like if Shedeur would have had a chance to show you, I would have did this all 4 years, not just two. Because he was really dynamic at Jackson State. He really, the reason why Jackson State did so well with Shedeur is because he really was a higher tier quarterback for that level. Let's be real. He was never on that level. Even with his flaws, he was better. That's why they whooped everybody, because they had a quarterback. Nobody else had a quarterback nowhere near Shedeur. Nowhere near Shedeur. And I watched those games. And they had some decent quarterbacks, but they were typical SWAT quarterbacks. That don't mean they wasn't good, but you comparing them to Shedeur. You see what Shedeur went and did? He left there and then went and broke all the records at Colorado. So what you expect he's going to do at Jackson State against lower competition? He went there with no line. He went there with all the different issues and still broke all the records. Getting slammed on his back and everything. Yeah, they keep talking about how small Dylan is. Dylan probably ain't never 5'9". They try to give him 5'10" and all that. He probably put his cleats on and give him 5'10". You know, he's small, he petite. He petite. And either you're gonna be super accurate when you're a little bit of petite quarterback, or you're gonna be fast as lightning. I know Vic was small too. Vic may be a little taller, but Vic can fly. And he had a cannon. That ain't what Dylan had. He don't have those set of skills. Dylan had triple the reps, still needed starters. Yeah, I mean, he had more reps. We know that. Why Travis get hurt every year? Did he get hurt? I thought Travis played today. He already played. I've been out in the streets. Did he get hurt? What are you saying? He got hurt this year? I mean, what are you saying? Because I thought they played later today. And what are you asking? Did Travis get hurt every year? Travis don't get hurt every year. I mean, but you play football? Because what football player don't get some kind of something every year? What are you talking about? You're going to get a groin pull, ankle sprain. You're going to get something. Matter of fact, if you play any kind of football past high school, most people then. So every time you touch that field, you're going to hurt something. It may be minor. You may play through it, but you're going to be hurt. You're going to be in the training room. Even at practice. Now, they real gentle on these guys. Don't go to the ground. You only can practice for an hour. When I was in college, man, we practiced all doggone day, every day, man. It was ridiculous. We practiced 3 hours a day. I don't know how we did in the heat, in the hot South Georgia. And it's like, when you're talking about long practices, doing 2 days, 3 days, um, they way more soft on these kids now. They don't do 2 days, and we even did 3 days at times. It's just foolishness. And we had some, we went to the ground pretty much every day when we did our team scrimmages. It was never a time where they say thud them up, don't take them down, man. We taking people down. Only people don't get hit is the quarterback, man. You hitting everybody every day. You know what I'm saying? When you unless you're doing like walkthroughs or something like that, but. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know how you don't, man. You running, even though you kids and your little brains, you grown man body, man. We run into people 300 plus pounds, running into them full speed, and guys who squat 400 pounds with their pinky and all that. Like, no matter, this is what people don't get. That's how I know people don't be knowing what they talking about when it comes to ball. Skills is one thing, but size is everywhere, man. You can be at Division 2, Division even 3 probably. Division 1, you try to look down on Division 1 there, you can look at all these different things. Man, if you run into a grown man, no matter what his skill set is, it's still running to a grown man. They still fast, they still strong. You don't be going to the weight room outlift them. It don't matter if you at Georgia or somewhere else. They got somebody caught strong on there. Them boys be lifting them weights. They may not be, the linemen may not be as big sometimes. They don't have as big as linemen, That's the difference, really, the linemen. But, I mean, every now and then you run into somebody got an animal on their team, and they, somewhere. and you're gonna play against it. But it's just not like that. I think this Coach Prime said the trenches is the only thing that's really the big difference. And a guy can play the line at a Division II and be 280, 270. That's a big lineman. That's kind of small. You go to Georgia, they're gonna mollywop you and put you in the backfield. So that's the difference. But I mean, the running backs just as big, just strong. I remember them boys at Jackson State, man. Coach Prime, they played some good running backs. I remember that running back out of Alcorn. I mean, that boy should have been pro. Big, strong, fast. You can't tell me he couldn't play. He was like a little janty. Probably he was bigger. So a lot of people want, I mean, they had some good running backs they played against at Jackson State. The quarterbacks want to see. That's another thing. The quarterback play is definitely got to be different if you want to do well at Division I. The higher level FBS, what they call it now. We used to call it Division I, 1A, AA. I talked about that before a while back. And then they call it FBS and FCS and all of that, and they keep changing it. But the quarterback play is different too. Like you can get away with not being accurate as long as you're an athlete and can run the ball and stuff. You can whoop teams. But at the end of the day, these boys, the talent is there in spurts. So you go out there with these boys, man. You can get hurt. You can get hurt at any level. That's basically the point. They say Simmons got enough. He said Simmons got enough. Yeah, I seen that. Catching up on these. He said, yeah, Travis didn't play today. Yeah, not played yet, right? Cleveland's going to have a quarterback situation all season. Way too many quarterbacks. Who fault is that? Think about that. These geniuses, they should have waited. They went and got Pickett. Then they went and got Falco. No one ain't going to pick somebody in the draft. Why go get Falco knowing you had plans to get somebody out of the draft? It's not like it was a secret. Then you dumb enough to get 2 quarterbacks in one draft. Maybe you need all these quarterbacks since you got this curse where all of them get hurt. Maybe that's the case. And you only got a 5th one on top of the 6th one that's injured, that's trying to come back. You went and got all these quarterbacks. That's your problem. Who told you to do that? You could have waited it out. You could have brought Falco in. You instead of bringing the other Henley or whatever's name, you could have brought Falco in at the last minute and say fill in. But at the end of the day, you went and got Pickett, knowing you, and then when you got Falco. So that's 2 quarterbacks together you shouldn't have got. Pickett and Falco. Then you went and got Gabriel and Shedeur together. So why you do that? You basically went and got 2 more quarterbacks. Everybody else got pretty much 3 quarterbacks. And two really competing, and the other one was a super duper backup. That's how you see in college everywhere. Everybody ain't competing to be a starter. You don't go get all these quarterbacks and think they're going to be a starter. 2 competing and 1 back there just in case something happened and you really don't want him. You'll go get somebody else for you, let him play, but he really practice squad guy, whatever. You don't go get 4 guys and act like all of them compete for the game, for the starting spot. You wonder why you can't distribute the reps. Practice ain't even built like that. The NFL not built like that. They knew what they were doing, or whether they don't know what they're doing. He said a lot of people don't know football and talk about Cleveland. I mean, what we expect? I'm not surprised that people talk about football because people talk about football before YouTube. People get in the barbershop and they just want to talk. They just want to talk. And now with the internet, you can look up stats and you can do all this what they call it, fantasy football. You really think you know something now because you reading stats. Let me tell you something. I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute because it's been coming up more and more often. Like what happened is with people who play football, they understand the totality of football. This applies to Colorado, Shedeur, all of that. Colorado about to kick off. We're going to be talking a lot more about Colorado because really we don't really know because it's like at the end of the day, we got to see these boys play. There's a new team put together. It's hard to predict. We know what they had. We knew the key pieces last year. I did. So it's like, when you think about football, most people think about they watching it. They got all these judgments. They feel, oh, you should have did this. He should have did that. Woo, 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 woo. They do all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot more factors that contribute to football to how you play. It's a mental component, and that mental component branches off to so many things. What you don't know, especially if you never played football, is the variables of it. Like the variables of playing football is, you got variables like pain. Most people ain't never felt the pain of football. They haven't felt the pain of training for football, nor the pain of playing it. And it's like it's there, because you using your body. Most people never have physical contact there in their life. They'll quit. They can't even move a sofa off of the moving truck, because at the end of the day, you're playing through pain. I mean, you never recover from training camp, fall camp, wherever you at college or pro. You never recover. You never 100% going forward. You lose weight. When you go in a training camp, I know back in my day, man, you're going to cut 15, 20 pounds. I don't care how big you came in. By the end of camp, for 3 weeks, you don't lost so much weight. You practicing every day. Back then, we practiced, we know hour practice. We practiced 3 hours a day, twice a day, the whole camp, man. And it is hot. Depending on where you at, it can be hot. It ain't cold. So no matter where it's hot, but some places hotter than others. And you out there in equipment, man. Let me tell you, you put that equipment on and you go outside, it feel like you cooking till you get sweating good. You go out there and it feel like your mind gotta be mind over matter because you feel like you cooking like an egg on a skillet. Until you get the sweating good and you sometimes people pour water on themselves, man. You cooking. When you take your helmet off at the end of practice, you steaming like a skillet. Especially when it cool off, the sun go down. You smoking when you come out that helmet. You cooking. So you got variables of heat. You got variables of exhaustion. You got variables of pain on top of pain on top of pain. You're playing injured. You playing not even injured. Yeah, see people talking about somebody playing injured. People play hurt. Whether you know they injured or not. They playing on a bum ankle. They playing their knees irritating them. It got what we call tendonitis in the knee, tendonitis in the elbow, tendonitis. They call it turf toe, but they ain't never like tendonitis in the right there up under your big toe. That big bone right up under your big toe for people who ain't never experienced it, where it's tender. You can't even walk on it like you got a bunion, but it ain't there. It's at the bottom of your foot. And every time you walk on it, it's like you walking like rocks up under your bone. You playing with that. So it's more factors than if you're good or not good. It's more factors than is the other guy better than you. It's who can play through the most pain or who can play through pain at all. See, who can play when they tired? Do they go bend over, because they tired, or do you push through it? That's why you have all these practices and doing all that running. Why they make you run all those 100s and suicides and sprints and why they got them doing all that? They just mean. They were women. They watching on. You training to push through your body. Even most of the players don't realize that. You training your body to know what it can handle. Because you get in the game, you did the crap, you're gonna panic. You like, I can't breathe. Yeah, you can. Push through it. I'm hurt. I can't play. Yeah, you have because you've been doing it. You've been practicing through pain. You've been practicing through it. That's a whole. We don't tap into this conversation. We're here now. These are the things that these players go through. Sometimes it's enough to make you sit down like Shedeur. I'm assuming it's the case. Sometimes the coach is taking a little more precaution with it. But, once that season starts, like Shedeur was playing through pain in Colorado and taking shots at halftime, it's more than just, are you good? Sometimes the other guy he get the best of you sometimes. Let's say he made a play on you. He knocked you over. What kind of mental state are you in? Do you give up and quit? Or do you come back and hit him in his mouth? Some people let it psych him out. I can't do this. I got to let him. It's going to be a long game. It's going to be a long game. I'm going to whoop you all day. That's what happened that you don't know. You don't hear the conversations and the junk talking and the mental games people playing with them and talking about their mama and talking about they're saying all kinds of weird stuff trying to get in people's head. You don't understand. You don't know all of that goes into behind the scenes of the game because you ain't never experienced it. So I understand that looking at it like it's something else it's going on. Sometimes people got, unfortunately, issues outside of the field, just like you can have on your job. And it'll impact them and they can't focus. They need a mental, or what they call sports psychologist or some therapists, because they can't focus because they got some issues going off the field. We talked about that with Jimmy Horn from Colorado. That's a real thing. Sometimes your mind is here, your body is here, but your mind is somewhere else. And that coach got to be in tune with that. Sometimes that coach can make it worse if they don't really understand their players. Sometimes there's other factors going on than just, are you good enough? Are you fast? Are you strong? Everybody watching it from the outside making comments but you living this thing. It's you and your body. I look at a lot of NFL guys. A lot of people don't know this because they don't know the NFL people. They know TV and now we got the internet. Y'all don't know that most of these guys, especially back in the day, by the time they hit 50, they get knee and hip replacements. All of them. Not just linemen, all of them. DBs. You see Coach Prime fingers all turned all over. You see Andre Rison fingers all turned. All these guys fingers turned all crooked and knotted all up. They playing with broke fingers. All their fingers look like they crooked, like east side, west side. It's a lot that go on behind these sports, man. I don't play with it like that. People think it's just a game. These people bodies and livelihood. Some people bodies will never be the same when their career over. They have all kinds of aches and pains. That's what you don't know. You ain't played it. Some of these guys had too many concussions. And guess what happened? I know some NFL guys had too many concussions before, the NFL protocol and all that. Why you think they take it so serious? You get enough concussions, man, your memory's shot before you even get 60. Short-term memory, gone. Where my cup at? It's over there. Like they got dementia. If it's a form of dementia, they know that if they going through that, they aging mentally and sometimes even physically, how they move. They moving like they 80 years old and they 60 years old, depending on how long they played it. Depending on how long they played the game. Some of these guys, man, their body be shot. Why you think Julian Sayar committed suicide? Them boys be committing suicide and all that stuff because they know they'll never be the same. They know they not themselves. They mentally and physically, they can't do nothing about it. They go to the doctor and show all the damage they don't did to their brain. And if it ain't their brain, it's their body. They can't walk. Coach Prime doing very well. But, I don't know what the blood clots came from. He say it came from his family. Some people try to blame the vaccine. I don't know. But I know that he don't had a lot of surgeries. But even before that, he'll tell you. And now, he got the bladder thing, and I don't know where that come from. I don't know if from the heebie-jeebie, hoodoo, voodoo, voodoo. I look at the whole picture. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can think like, it could be that. I say, well, all that medication he taking, did that affect his bladder? He wouldn't know better than I do. But he keep on going. But that's on top of all the injuries and stuff he played through. All the stuff he done played through, man. He walk around, he keep himself in good shape. He stay running, he on the bike. But most of his peers, I know some of them. Most of his peers, they got to get knee and hip replacements, man. From all that running, especially when when we came up, turf was carpet. I heard them trying to explain it to the boys. It was so funny, the Colorado players, because they got a turf field out there. They got two outside fields, grass, and one of them fields the turf that they used to have. Because Colorado used to have turf. They didn't always have grass. That's why I don't know why they were tripping when they put this new turf in there. Because in the early 90s, they had turf. So it ain't been grass in that whole time. Because you look at them old boy who won the Heisman, they had that carpet turf, like how the Georgia Dome used to have. And all up there with the Rams. But they had turf, and I don't play it on turf. Let me tell you, you get turf burn up there, or if you don't get nothing, if you don't get the turf burn on your knees and your elbows, if you don't get none of that, let me tell you, the next morning, the top of your knees just burn from all the friction. The top of your knees, the ligaments on your knees just burn. Even if it ain't a turf burn, just the friction from stopping. So imagine if your team had a turf home field and you played on that turf field every week, 7-8 games a year, and you practice on turf. That's why them boys' knees was messed up. A lot of them guys played at the Falcons, knees messed up. That friction, stop, go, man. You walk off the field after that game, your knees be burning just from stopping and going on it. This are the things that they go through, man. So, and Coach Prime played some years on that turf. So he doing pretty well, man. He don't have some other elements pop up. I don't know how connected they are, but man, happy Sunday, Celeste. I got my little Jonathan, his birthday tomorrow. I don't know he gonna listen. He turning 7 tomorrow. Little Jonathan, my baby son, his birthday is tomorrow. It's Sunday. I think about that. Tomorrow is his birthday. Then my birthday is on the 31st. I'm gonna be probably live on my birthday. I'm probably gonna be live. I think because it's on Sunday this year, so I should be live this year on my birthday, couple weeks. What is my prediction with Colorado Buffalo record. I don't know, man. I'll stick with a 10-2. I don't know how high I can go. I don't know how confident I can be. I'm not confident, but I don't know how I can just like I did last year. Um, I would hate for them to lose more than 2, so I just stick with 2. Is it possible? Depending on how they play. I don't think it's dependent on how the other teams play. I think it's dependent on how they play and how consistent they are. Because remember, a lot of their leadership is gone. And so they got a lot of transfer players, and the transfer players are leaders. So it depends on how they lead. Because the guys who left last year were the leaders. Travis Hunter was a leader. Shedeur was a leader. Sid Craig was a leader. Shiloh was a leader. You know, and they had a certain standard that they brought from Jackson State because they knew how Coach Prime wanted to play, and they was close to him. These new guys, I don't know what kind of mindset they have. I look like they play well together. It looks like they disciplined. It looks good. It looks well rounded. So that's why I give them that much. Now the people who predicting the season in the Big 12 ain't giving that kind of respect. They ain't giving that kind of. They like, oh, they're doing back what they did last year. And really, what they did last year, they should have did this year. They was foolish to try that last year. No one even won better than Colorado. But that's how disrespectful they are. They're gonna move the depth chart. So just let that go. They're not gonna move. No, I ain't say they was. I don't know why would they? Because Dylan, if all he had to do, see, this is the problem with Dylan. He just had to play good enough to maintain his spot. He don't have to go out there. They never said if that was the case, his butt would have been on the bench because he ain't outdid Shedeur yet. He ain't did Shedeur in any camp they've done. So it shows you that whatever he did, he just got to do status quo to keep his little spot. Because they like losing quarterbacks anyway. They ain't no winners. I mean, they've been having quarterback issue for years. How do you do that unless you something wrong with you and you want that? Because how do you keep getting in that situation? They got an imp over there or something, but he fit more into that losing spirit than anything because he's gonna go out there and do good stuff and keep people high blood pressure up and then go and do turnovers. That's what he been doing all camp, throwing interceptions. But Flacco do the same thing. He doesn't hide it. Flacco do really good things, and then he do really bad things. And he do the really bad things all the wrong time. You can sit there and talk that foolishness, who fault it is and all that. The point is it happened. It could have, would have, should have happened, Shedeur, but it don't happen. Dylan Gabriel has been showing that since he's been playing. I don't care about Oregon. We're talking about what he done in camp. He's been doing that but throwing interceptions. And incompletions, having bad, really, really bad days. He has some good days every now and then, but really, really bad. 3 for 14 and stuff. Like you have no business having that kind of low. He have decent highs, but it's them lows he can't afford to have as a professional. The coach had a senior school game plan for. I mean, they gotta customize the game plan for him because he not gonna. He's not down there. He's not no Drew Brees. He a little quarterback. He's not no Drew Brees. He ain't no Michael Vick. You gonna be a little quarterback. You got to be something dynamic about you. Yeah, yeah. They didn't get them lights up. Tell them. It should run up. It's still saying we got 94. It don't cost nothing to hit that like button. We got yep. It should be going up right now. Is it a delay? Is it a delay? Hello. Holding them lights. They need to get rid of Dylan Gabriel. At the end of the day, they could have been on got rid of him. I hear rumors that people tried to ask for a trade. Didn't happen. So, they holding out like they gonna lose something. East side, west side. Yeah, you know, fingers pointing all kinds of ways. What's going on, Kimberly? Yeah, it's not fun. It's not funny, because some people body go through the change early than others. Some people I like them lights. Appreciate it. Some of those people, get hurt in high school. A lot of people don't get hurt in high school. Some people get serious injuries in high school. You be like, dang, they hurt their neck, their spine, they break stuff. You might sit in Little League, but not as much. But college is when that thing pick up because you carrying them wildebeests around and running into them. You in grown men now who lift weights and run just like you. And then, stuff can happen, and people don't properly stretch, people don't properly train, people don't properly warm up. You go try to tell your body to do something, you ain't prepared. That's the point of practice. See, that's the point of training people don't get. They be whining about all the pain and all the stuff you put your body through. It's for preparation so you can do it. But most people feel sorry for themselves. They mad, they grunting and complaining at the coach. Why they out there doing all them suicides? Why they out there doing all them sprints? Why they doing all of that? That's because you're trying to get that body ready. You want to put that body up on the conditions it's going to be in. Because if you don't, you're in a bad spot. And you go out there and try to do something, be a superhero, and you messed up. You're going to tear something up. As I was trying to see Round Hill on the line, his coach staff, because he was looking really bad at one point from football injuries. Yeah, man. Football injuries ain't no joke. Georgia had turf as well. I mean, everybody pretty much had turf. Not everybody, but if they had turf, that's what it was. Yeah, if they had turf, that's what they had. There was no field turf until my senior high school. That's when the field turfs and the stuff was popping up in your eye. That's when we first seen it. I came out of what, 2000 and 2003? Yeah, 5-2. What's prediction Georgia Tech game? I pick Colorado beat them by a touchdown or two. I mean, it just depends on how well they play. Yeah, I need to see at least one CU game because of prediction for the season. Who will lead the team? Who will lead the team? Salter better. Salter better. That's what I say. Salter better. I think Bayard probably strong on the defense. I think we're gonna see it emerge. They had like every team Georgia played last year was the previous year's national champion. They go. Yeah, I mean they did the same thing with North Dakota State. That's what they're gonna do every week. They Colorado beat somebody. Well, they ain't that good, and that's team good. Even Sarah team good. They're gonna beat Colorado. Man, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, I came on later than you. Was right down them streets, man. I was out down them streets, but I made sure I got in. I'm about to get out, y'all. I got to go get some. I told you, I got son turning 7 tomorrow. We can go ahead and have his little birthday. Then he want to go to Longhorn. What kind of bougie stuff? What happened to hot dogs and pizza? He a long time ago. I want to go to Longhorn on my birthday. I don't know who taught him that. Longhorn. I wish I would have asked for Longhorn on my birthday. This some grown up stuff. So he finna go to Longhorn, get him something to eat. And we finna get on out of here. I just want to stop by y'all. Long story short, I don't think that much is gonna change because Dylan did enough. Well, you let 13, 18 look like this, and know all the stuff he did wrong because they're only looking for him to do good. The media they said moving the goalposts, planning new goalposts, whatever you want to call it. They're already doing that. And they was gonna do that, and they're gonna try to minimize everything he do wrong, like they've been doing. So why we at surprise? And they're gonna minimize everything Shedeur do right because they got some weird stuff going on. So I'm aware. I've been saying this, and see Shedeur not being out there, that only helps the case. Like unless that boy went out there and fell on his face completely, that wouldn't help Shedeur. And even then, you're gonna say, okay, well, what if he had played against Carolina, and what if Shedeur played against Philly? It's always that what if, because that's what people want to do. That's what they want to do, y'all. They want to be silly like that, and that's what it is. But y'all, I don't know if I'm getting inspiration, motivation later. Hopefully, I will. I appreciate y'all stopping through on my sporadic time, jumping in late here. I started about 4:00, a little after 4. I'm gonna go ahead and go and try to get something to eat. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. Appreciate my main folks coming through. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We got a long season, man. This is just again. This is just the beginning. This Brown stuff, man. We're gonna have something to talk about every week, every day. There's one thing we're not gonna do. Colorado's gonna give us plenty to talk about. Then we got this, and who knows what's gonna pop up with other boys. We still got other boys, Jacksonville and Tampa was Charlotte will do. Ravens look like LeJounte, he moving on up. He had a nice little count. Everybody talking about him and Jimmy Horn, he moving. So, hey, I don't know what Will Shepherd did. Anybody pay attention to what he did with the Packers? It's so much, y'all. And y'all go ahead and check out that Discord, y'all. I put a little box thing. I did go get a little box just to have the games. And I got a link in there if y'all want to check that out. It's a few different ones. It's different from the other one. It's just a few different ones. They got a souped up one. There's some I know somebody here got super duper duper souped up one. I got like the base one. It got the local channels on. That's all I wanted. I don't watch TV like that. So that's why I let y'all know about it. But yeah, I'm Great City. Y'all have a good one. Wonderful Sunday. I'll be talking to y'all soon. I'm gonna talk about the entertainment later. You right. I'm gonna get to that. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna talk about entertainment. Y'all have a good one.